Two souls intertwined in an eternal curse, destined to meet once every century, only to part ways in a bloody betrayal. But why? And can their love survive beyond this twisted fate? Join me today as we explore the captivating tale of Romeo and Juliet, a timeless tragedy that continues to resonate with audiences centuries after its creation. We'll delve into the depths of Shakespeare's iconic play, uncovering the secrets behind the curse that binds these star-crossed lovers and the reasons behind their tragic end. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe for more updates. Now, let's dive into the captivating narrative of Romeo and Juliet. In fair Verona, where our tale unfolds, two houses, Montague and Capulet, whose ancient grudge still burns. A feud so deep, it tears the city apart. In the midst of this hatred, Romeo Montague falls head over heels for Juliet Capulet, unaware that she is the very embodiment of his family's sworn enemy. Their chance encounter at a masked ball ignites a spark, and despite their different backgrounds, they decide to tie the knot in secret. But wait, there's a twist. Juliet is already betrothed to Paris, a prince of France. Undeterred, she seeks help from Friar Lawrence, who concocts a plan to escape with Romeo. However, tragedy strikes when Romeo's friend Mercutio is killed by Tybalt, Juliet's hot-headed cousin. Enraged, Romeo takes his revenge, slaying Tybalt, and is banished from Verona as a result. Heartbroken and desperate, Juliet turns to the same friar who had helped her escape once before, begging him for a solution. The friar gives her a potion that will make her appear dead. He then sends a letter to Romeo explaining the situation, but unfortunately, it never reaches him. When Romeo hears of Juliet's apparent demise, he rushes back to Verona and enters her tomb. There he finds her seemingly lifeless, and believing her to be truly dead, drinks a vial of poison. Juliet awakens to find Romeo lying dead beside her, and unable to bear the thought of life without him, takes her own life with his dagger. The play ends with the tragic demise of both lovers, leaving the audience to ponder the curse that caused such a heartbreaking end. But what exactly is the curse that has bound Romeo and Juliet together for eternity, dooming them to relive their doomed romance over and over again? To understand this curse, we must look no further than the prologue of the play itself. Here, the chorus tells us that Romeo and Juliet are star-crossed lovers, a phrase that foreshadows their ill-fated romance. Throughout the play, we see how their love is constantly thwarted by external forces, most notably the feud between their families. This feud acts as a dark cloud hanging over their relationship, preventing them from being together openly and honestly. It also reinforces the idea that their love is not meant to be, that they are destined for tragedy. The idea of star-crossed lovers also alludes to the influence of fate and destiny on their lives. From the moment they meet, it seems as if a higher power is guiding their every move, bringing them together, even as it tears them apart. This sense of inevitability adds a layer of tragedy to their story, making their eventual demise all the more heartbreaking. But the curse doesn't end there. As the play progresses, we see how Romeo and Juliet's own actions contribute to their downfall. For example, Romeo's quick temper leads him to kill Tybalt, while Juliet's impulsiveness causes her to agree to marry Paris. These character flaws, while understandable, ultimately lead to their destruction, trapping them in a cycle of violence and deceit. Even the friar, who tries to help the couple, makes mistakes that have dire consequences. He fails to deliver his letter to Romeo, which ultimately leads to the lovers' demise. All of these elements, the feud, the sense of fate, and the character's own flaws come together to create a powerful curse that holds Romeo and Juliet captive. This curse is not just a literary device, but a reflection of the human condition. It reminds us of our own limitations, our tendency to make mistakes, and the sometimes cruel nature of fate. Now, the question arises, why does this curse exist? Why are Romeo and Juliet doomed to relive their tragic love story again and again, always ending in bloodshed and betrayal? One possible interpretation is that the curse serves as a punishment for the sins of the fathers. The feud between the Montagues and Capulets has been going on for so long that it has become a destructive force of its own. The hatred and violence that it breeds have real consequences, affecting not just the families involved, but also those who love them. Romeo and Juliet's love is seen as a threat to this destructive cycle, and so they are punished for trying to break free from it. Another interpretation is that the curse is a metaphor for the conflict between love and hate. Love and hate are two of the most powerful emotions we can experience, and in Romeo and Juliet, they are constantly at war with each other. The lovers' desire to be together is met with hatred and violence from those around them, and this conflict ultimately destroys them. Furthermore, the curse may also be seen as a symbol of the conflict between passion and reason. Romeo and Juliet's love is all-consuming and passionate, but it lacks the grounding of reason and logic. They make decisions based on their emotions rather than their intellect, and this ultimately leads to their downfall. Finally, the curse could also be interpreted as a reflection of the conflict between the individual and society. Romeo and Juliet's love is seen as a threat to the social order, and they are punished for going against it. This conflict between the individual and society is a timeless theme that continues to resonate with audiences today. And so the curse of Romeo and Juliet is a complex and multifaceted one, serving as a punishment for past sins, a metaphor for the conflict between love and hate, a symbol of the conflict between passion and reason, and a reflection of the conflict between the individual and society. It is this curse that binds these star-crossed lovers together, forcing them to relive their doomed romance again and again, always ending in blood and betrayal. The enduring popularity of Romeo and Juliet can be attributed to several factors. Firstly, the play explores universal themes that continue to resonate with audiences centuries after its creation. Love, hate, fate, and the conflict between individuals and society are all timeless topics that audiences can easily connect with. Secondly, the characters in Romeo and Juliet are complex and relatable. Despite their flaws, we can empathize with their struggles and understand their motivations. This makes their tragic end all the more heartbreaking. Moreover, the play's language is beautiful and poetic, even in its darkest moments. Shakespeare's use of metaphors, similes, and wordplay adds depth and meaning to the dialogue, making the play a joy to read and perform. Finally, the play's enduring popularity can also be attributed to its dramatic plot and tragic ending. The twists and turns of the story keep the audience on the edge of their seats, while the tragic demise of the lovers leaves a lasting impact. Overall, Romeo and Juliet is a masterpiece of world literature that continues to captivate audiences with its timeless themes, relatable characters, beautiful language, and tragic ending. Whether you're watching a performance or reading the play, Romeo and Juliet is sure to leave a lasting impression. As we conclude our exploration of Romeo and Juliet, let us reflect on the enduring legacy of this timeless tragedy. The curse that binds Romeo and Juliet together is a powerful reminder of the destructive nature of hatred and the importance of pursuing peace and understanding. By confronting our own biases and prejudices, we can work towards creating a better future, one that is free from the cycles of violence and deceit that have plagued humanity for far too long. Thank you for joining us today as we uncovered the secrets of the curse that haunts these star-crossed lovers. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and share for more captivating content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the world of literature with us.